Why do we think that people in our day and age today feel more entitled now than they ever have before?
Well, I guess I'm a bad co-host. I should be asking Cole that since you're the guest.
It just I was thinking that.
No. I know. I'm just being sarcastic. I want to make sure that I'm being a good co-host, a good host, or whatever. Yeah, Cole. What do you think about that? Like, what do you think has caused? Me and Cole were probably talking about this for like an hour and a half last night, and it was really good. But Cole, what do you think has caused? And we were kind of discussing a little bit, like there's a difference between American culture and like Christianity when it comes to entitlement, because there are a lot of Christians who are very entitled, and it is a very big problem in the church that people feel entitled to feel good when they worship. They feel entitled to have a good experience when you go to church. You don't deserve anything. We deserve death. What Christ did on the cross is the most powerful thing that could ever happen in the story of Jesus, is the most powerful thing that could have ever happened. And we'll get into that a little bit more, I'm sure. But Cole, why do you think that we have created such a culture that surrounds themselves with entitlement? And why entitlement is intruding so much in people's mind, and why it's a disease. Entitlement is a really bad disease.
Absolutely. I'll answer the American culture portion, and then somebody else can maybe do the Christian.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this question before this. I think it's a lot of things, but to me, two main things come to mind. I think one is we live in a generation that is very far removed from suffering and having to work really hard for what you have. I'm not saying that we are not up against a handful of things in our generation that are very tough. We are up against a lot of things. Houses cost quite a bit more now than they did, and we have to deal with our phones and the fact that, everybody's kind of on their phones a lot, and we have to figure out how to make that work into future generations. But I think we're very far removed from generations that have had to fight for our freedoms. We're far removed from generations that had to build their houses on an empty plot because there was no development there. We're very much in generations of continued passing down of wealth and just getting kind of the benefit of the doubt. Jake and I think we talked about this before, but part of what I think makes people our age kind of have a little bit of comfort in the back of their mind is that, at the end of the day, if you fail financially, your parents are going to let you live in their house.
Wow.
Like you have a fallback. The worst case scenario for you is pretty much never you're going to have to live on the street, or you're going to have to live outside of a house. That, just having that in the back of your mind makes you feel comfortable and somewhat entitled. Like, well, of course I deserve this because you almost have the power to, you have the not so bad of a worst case scenario. So I think it's that. And I think the other thing that comes to mind is definitely like the internet and technology and smartphones. I think more now than ever, we have really, really quick access to really quick dopamine hits and quick comfort. You can just, today when you get home from work, you can just sit down and scroll on your phone and just look at whatever you want.
Doom scroll.
Doom scroll, get fed whatever you want. The algorithm's going to give you what you want. And it almost trains your brain. It's scary, if you think about it, but it trains your brain to be fed literally whatever it wants, whenever it wants, all the time. And so that just, you apply that mindset to potentially everything else in your life. You're confused when you don't get to go out to eat where you wanted to, or you're confused when you don't get to, you can apply it to anything. And it's very subtle. And I think it's happened in the background, in the dark, in our culture. But I think it's, that's another thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's really good.